loves to play games. Open borders, CRT, woke, woke, soft on crime, blue cities. They let you do whatever. They don't lock anybody up. They support crime. Well, I'm not here to push any rhetoric. I'm not here to, you know, promote any tribe. I'm not here to tell any group of people what they want to hear. I'm here about truth. And right now, I see a legitimate, quote unquote, soft on crime scenario. So, there are four illegal migrants who attacked NYPD officers. We have it on video. It looked to me like they were trying to arrest two of them at least, and then a bunch of others. So they're on the ground, like fighting with these two guys. And then there's a whole crowd of them surrounding the officers. And you see in the video, they're coming and they're like kicking and, well, kicking. I don't know what else they were doing, but I definitely saw them kicking the officer. You name it. Anyway, so I believe four of these illegal migrants were arrested for assault on a police officer, a felony. And then they were released without bail. I'm not quite sure how the bail scenario works when you have an illegal immigrant. That kind of changes things a bit. I just thought about that just now. I mean, someone who I assume doesn't have a job, doesn't have any money, is not a citizen, they're here illegally. I mean, one factor is they definitely don't want anything that could lead to them being kicked out of the country. But the bail has nothing to do with that, though. The bail is monetary. So I don't quite know how that would work. But that's besides the point. So, again, the right wing loves to push this rhetoric. So it's not about actual soft on crime or whatever. It's about anything to attack the left. They're basically like, we don't really have a real conservative media machine. It's really an anti-liberal media. That's their entire business model, is just to every video, oh, the left sucks, look what the Democrats are doing, blah blah blah. So they will talk about supposed um, you know soft on crime, Democrats, whatever, bail reform, whatever. But here is, in my view, an example of an actual scenario that's actually problematic, that not a propaganda, not trying to push rhetoric. Like, this is the real deal, and here's how we establish that this is the real deal. Couple clues, right? If I'm a right winger, I don't care about the details. I see something like this, oh, bail, they're soft on crime, whatever. I don't care to dive into details, right? If it even sounds remotely like it's something that I can use to make a soft on crime video, I'm gonna jump on that, make that money, right? That's the dishonest right wing media way. But if we actually care about truth, then we want to dig a little bit a little bit deeper than that. So when I dig deeper, I observe certain things. Like, for example, DA Bragg does this, and then I saw him on the news. He's coming out of this hotel somewhere, and the news is they're asking him about, um, what he did and blah blah blah. What do you want to say to the New York citizens or whatever? Um, and he's just evading them and walking away and not saying anything. Now, so here are some clues that there's something a little shady here. You got a bunch of media talking about or questioning the lack of bail, right? The lack of bail, lack of bail, lack of bail. Um, this is obviously a hot button topic, right? There's a lot of rhetoric come from right wing media for a while about soft on crime, blah blah blah, and talking about the bail reform. And here you have you're releasing someone without bail, and you're being questioned about it, and you know this is a hot button topic, and you got nothing to say. Now it's one thing if you're being smart, you don't have a prepared statement, you don't want to. But even in that case, you can choose what you say and what you don't say, right? You don't have to just say nothing. I mean, I think Bragg should be skilled enough to be able to say something, right? Just avoid the stuff that you're not ready for. But he didn't say anything. Okay. Then he does a conference late, or not late, but that night he does a conference. Okay, so I'm like, great. So now he's speaking. And then in that conference, he's saying stuff like, we want to make sure that we have the right people and stuff like that. But I don't really hear him addressing the lack of bail, right? I mean, the lack of bail, again, hot button topic. This is huge, right? This is the rhetoric people have been talking about, this bail reform, blah blah blah. That's a pretty big deal, and you'd think Bragg would want to be on top of that. So if he has a legitimate explanation, he would put it out there to shut down these people, right? The people, because he knows certain people are going to jump on this and try to say soft on crime, whatever. So knowing that, if he has a legitimate explanation, I would expect him to be, very eager to put it out there. Shut them up. People are talking about the bail, but they don't understand the way bail reform works. Da, 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 da. So we couldn't do a bail because they're not citizens or whatever it is. Something. It was like he didn't really say nothing. So to me, that suggests that the truth is not a good look, right? The truth is not a good look. You don't want to say nothing because explaining what's going on is not a good look. So he chooses to keep quiet, talk about other things, but he don't want to get into it. Right? Why wouldn't he want to get into it? Why wouldn't he have a position that he wants to share with us? I don't understand that. That definitely looks a little bit shady. Now if we dive a little bit deeper than that, and you get my life experiences with the legal system. So as a naturalized citizen of the United States of America, in the country for decades, no criminal record, a record of community service, right? So giving back to my community. So, I'm a law-abiding citizen, tax-paying citizen, and I've also volunteered and tried to give back to my community. They didn't even give me, first of all, there was bail. Second of all, they didn't even allow me to go home pending sentencing. And my only crime was essentially failure to follow the instructions of a law enforcement officer, right? I didn't get charged with my violation of the rules of the road, shall we say that was involved as well, but that wasn't what I was charged with. Right, the charge was specifically on the failure to follow instructions from a police officer. No one was hurt. I didn't. This was not a. Was this considered a criminal trial? I don't know, but it wasn't any robbery or drug this or fraud this. It was literally not following the instructions of a law enforcement officer, and for that, someone with no record, I got bail, and I couldn't even go home pending sentencing. They put me in jail pending sentencing as if I was on a murder trial, and I was a flight risk. So, with that being said, the idea that these illegal immigrants who assaulted a police officer, felons, no bail, and it's not just that it's no bail with an explanation that makes sense. You say, okay, well, the explanation. But no bail, no explanation? Nah, son. Right wing media. If you want to talk about Democrats are soft on crime and you want to critique bail, this is how you do it, right? This is an example of something that legit, shady. It don't sound right. And remember, I think a critical detail is a lack of explanation, right? If it's legit, then why you not explaining it to us? Why you don't want to talk about it? Seems very shady. So Bragg, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You looking mighty shady. I don't know why there was no bail. As a as an another point, I don't know how bail works when you're dealing with an illegal immigrant. Actually, let me do some quick research. Still be beneficial. The problem with an illegal immigrant is they don't have as much ties to the community, so the flight risk, right? However, I mean, they probably risk their lives to get in the country. So the idea of just like going back to their country, um, I don't know. I mean, it's certainly easier for them to leave the country than it would be for someone who has a bunch of ties here. But would they? I guess it depends on the crime, right? If the crime is serious enough, then I guess, right? I mean, 'cause if staying here, you could be in jail for 20 years or something. Would you choose that over going back to your country and being free? So I don't know. It's kind of tricky, man. But definitely, um, this looks very shady. What do you think? This is the Baby Channel. Baby comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. And I'm out.